Okay, so we've done our mobility and we've done our dynamic flexibility, so we're going to go into our first isometric strength series. It was important that we made sure our joints were as mobile as they could be, as well as our muscles have good length. These isometric poses will be more effective at the bottom of their ranges of motion, so where there's the most amount of tension placed on the muscles. What we're trying to do here is make sure that our body is prepared in the future to handle greater and greater stresses. We're going to be pulling at a constant amount of tension. We want to make sure that those muscles can sustain that. It's like putting a bunch of stuff on your table. The table should be able to handle a certain amount of load. Granted, you add something externally to that, like an earthquake, and you may not expect that table to stand up, but that's running in the future at faster paces, or if you're going to keep piling on day after day a certain amount of work or intensity. So right now our intensity is going to be really low, our volume is really low, but we do want to make sure that our muscles understand that a greater demand is coming in the future. So we're going to do this isometric series as a circuit, so that's one exercise at a time, and then come back around and repeat it. So we're going to start with our first major joint is at the hip, our prime mover, and we're going to work our way down and then kind of our way back up. So the first one will be just a squat hold, and so I'm going to use my bench, and we're going to hold for 25 seconds, or I believe I've made it a little bit longer for the other gender. So, but I'm going to set mine for 25 seconds. So to get a good range of motion, I've got seated, and now I'm just going to raise my hips up just a little bit. I'm actually going to put my back up against the wall. And so now I'm not actually on the bench. Tuck my feet underneath my knees, and I'm just going to hold. You can also put your back up against the wall and slide down, but I want to make sure I've got good glute activation, so I sat down first. And this is our first introduction to being a little bit uncomfortable as well. Okay, good. On to the next one. We're going to do a double hinge. So let's feet up, both feet on the ground. We're going to raise our hands out in front of us. We're going to put a stretch under our hamstrings. And hinge. And extend the hands out above the head. So this is our deadlift position. We only have our body weight, and we have got this limb weight out here above our head. That's providing the resistance. We want to be able to hold this position. We're putting tension on the glutes. Okay, good. Come up. Standing double leg calf raise. So we're going to try to support all our body weight with those smaller muscles below the knee. Really nothing else is activated, maybe except for our core. And you get your body up. Try to put your weight through your big toes. This is where we start with good strong toe off, just being able to support all our body weight in this position isometrically. 2 and 1. Good. Okay, next exercise, bent knee, high push-up plank. So we're going to work a little bit of our core strength in here. Knees down. And just raise and hold. Feet can be a little bit wider for a wider base of support. We want hands underneath shoulders. Look straight down. To run fast, you have good posture. Okay, good. So that was working our front side strength. Bent knee glute raise. We're going to use our rear chain muscles to extend our hip and keep them up. And hold. Really squeeze the rear chain muscles, extend the hip. You should feel a stretch across the front of the thigh if these are really flex as tight as possible. Okay, good. Reverse high plank. So instead of just our glutes, we're going to get our hamstrings involved. So we're going to extend the legs away from us. And we're going to squeeze everything and flex everything to keep our hip from the ground. Just look straight at the ceiling. And this is going to be more hamstring oriented than glute, but the glutes are helping out as well. Again, posture is just a nice straight line. Good. Now we're going to go back to 3-point plank. So this is going to differ. I'm going to stack foot on top of each other, or you could raise one foot up in the air. So it changes your base of support. What we don't want is butt high in the air. We want that same strong plank position. Little less support underneath us, so that core fires up a little bit more. Good. Low lunge. This is probably going to be the most challenging one for some. We want to be in this position here. And all we're going to do is we're going to raise our down knee up and hold that position. And up. Again, with these initial isometric strength series, we want to start getting used to being uncomfortable. That's what's going to be really key to transitioning to hard workouts, is understanding being uncomfortable allows us to improve. So we start off with simple exercises like this. Good. Knee down, switch sides. Get a nice low lunge. We want to be as low as possible. And with the low lunge, I always find out my right side is much weaker than my left. Again, we're trying to focus on range of motion, putting muscles time under tension to get them a little stronger. We're used to doing dynamic squats, things like that. Isometric does not feel good because you only have to hold one position. Okay, Warrior 3 will be for our hamstring. If you need a little bit of balance, we're going to look for a teed out position. I'm going to use my wall a little bit, but my main goal is that I keep my legs straight underneath me. You can also fold your arms underneath. We want to get to that tee out position as much as possible. We've got 20 more seconds that finishes the series. Do my other side. Again, look straight down. Point the toe straight down behind you. Oops. Again, I know my right leg is weaker than my left. And that's natural. This is my quick leg. This is one I kick a ball with. My left leg stays on the ground. So it's important that we do some single isolation stuff to kind of balance that inequality out a little bit. So that's the whole series. You'll go through that multiple times. I'll make sure that that's in the instructions. That is our circuit. And again, where it's designed to start preparing us for greater and greater demands of training, but that's technically the most challenging thing we'll do here in the first week is an isometric series. So hopefully you enjoy that. Make sure you complete it. If you have any questions, let me know.